summer. This is our only second show this summer, but we're doing them as we can. So back off. Yeah.
We're doing them as we feel like them, because summer is time for some relaxing. No.
And we have a fun special guest. He's down here for me. I bet for him he's up here or over here. Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, Rudy. How are you?
Hi. Good. I'm glad I'm cool enough finally to join the party.
You know what I think it was? I think it was the overload of penises that one show where you just gave us
yes.
You just gave us what we
That's
needed.
how you work your way up. That's how you get noticed. Good. So am I the token non-expert?
Who said we're experts?
Yeah, no. Just make stuff up. Oh, and we have.
You're an expert. You went to a
moonshine.
convention recently, yo. We're gonna be talking. You're gonna tell us some things, Rudy.
You went to a convention?
You're gonna.
Yeah, I got another
what?
3 coming up. Yeah, well, I got to meet Doc Foreman the last one in Denver.
She's a big deal.
Nice.
She lasts. She's gonna use a last impression. Hi, Suicide.
No, she's great. She gave a great presentation too.
Yeah, she's all right.
So what's the convention this year?
I went to the NAMI National Convention a few weeks ago in Denver, and that was my first time going to any kind of mental health conference, at least on that level. And then the next one is in the Bay Area, Burlingame, for the NAMI California State Conference. And I got a couple other small ones like something Depression Bipolar Alliance.
The DBSA?
In September.
I love DBSA.
What's the S stand for?
Depression Bipolar something Alliance.
I think it's yes.
You're welcome.
Good.
You're welcome.
And I have another one called Alternatives, which is like a peer-run conference.
It's support. Depression. Bipolar support.
Good.
Conference.
What did you say, Chris?
Rudy mentioned a peer-run conference.
Ooh.
Yes, it's called Alternatives, and last year they had it in Memphis. I couldn't go, but this year it's in San Diego, and I got a scholarship from the LA County Department of Mental Health. So why not? Who am I to turn down a free ride?
That is awesome. Congratulations. You're going to
Are you getting an echo? I can put on earphones.
You can put on earphones. It can be helpful.
Okay, I don't want to get an echo.
That's right.
1 second. Oh, it's right here.
And they're stylish. And they're green.
Yes.
Oh, they like blend in.
I'm starting to get better at this.
Chris, you're just ahead of the game. I can't keep up with you. How are you doing? How's your summer? What have you learned and seen in the field of suicide prevention and messaging? Let's go.
Not enough.
But I feel like we've seen more and more and more. Or maybe we're just in it, so we just see it, like the yellow car effect.
There's a term for that phenomenon. But yeah, where you buy a new car and then you like see that new car every day on the road. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not saying that. No, I'm absolutely saying there is a void when SPSM goes off the air for the summer. I get why they have to take a break and stuff, but man, it's like everything just kind of stops. I don't know if you guys feel that.
I wouldn't know.
We are a machine. You wouldn't know?
No, this is my first SPSM summer.
Okay. This is is this our third or fourth summer coming into this?
I'm still new to this.
Welcome to the dark side.
Great. I'm glad. I'm glad we could share your deviance with.
I think third too, Nora.
Or our deviance with you.
You can call in too if you are interested to come and talk with us. You can call in. teach me things about your area, because I learned that it's winter in Australia or New Zealand. Is Lisa in New Zealand or Australia? Okay.
New Zealand. Yeah. What about you guys? I mean, so the thing that interested me and the thing that I poked Amelia about doing this show for was this idea that, okay, so a few of the industry leaders are moving towards this, I felt long-standing kind of messaging of like everybody plays a role in suicide prevention, and suicide is preventable as a main aspect. That's all fine. But when it comes to like messaging campaigns, we've heard it before.
We're not the best. Suicide prevention is not the best at messaging. We are not good at mental health messaging at all. And when you sent this over to me as the idea, I was thinking about how we correlate, if you have a broken bone, go to the doctor. If you have a mental illness, go to a doctor. But the doctors aren't always there or accessible or informed. And sometimes they can do more harm than good. So it's not just an easy fix, whereas a broken bone is pretty straightforward. You put a cast on it, generally heals. Maybe there's more concerns, but generally it's gonna come back together. But with mental health concerns or issues or illnesses or whatever you want to label it, because one size does not fit all in this field, in this work, we need to do better, and we need to talk to people where they're at, because what works for one person is not going to work for the next. And I have seen that across the board. And so have you, and so have you, and so have you at home and watching this back later. That's how I feel. Stepping off my soapbox.
So there's a couple of things there though, right? So there's training is an issue that most people who actually come in contact with people who have thoughts of suicide don't receive adequate training or appropriate training for their setting. And then there's scalability, which April talks about a lot. With a broken bone, you just go to the ER, you go get your stuff fixed. You go home and it heals. But when it comes to mental health care in more rural areas, the ability to actually go and find these people to get help from may not even exist here. I know in Kansas we have, we have some counties that are covered. Like one community mental health center covers like 38 counties, and they have satellite offices, but it's impossible to cover that many people with appropriate mental health care, and it's so there's those couple problems, plus with the idea of like actually getting people to use it then, right? And that's kind of what we're talking about with messaging, and how do you frame it in a way that is as nonchalant or as necessary as something like getting a cast.
Casts
and people
cool.
like
people
casts.
Can sign them. People can draw text on them.
Like, yeah.
Balls.
Yeah.
All sorts of things.
No,
right, Rudy?
No.
Yeah.
We're not going to let this devolve
again.
Where'd
Rudy go?
It always devolves. It's just debauchery. The greatest forms.
I thought this was going to be serious.
Do you see Rudy? I can't see or hear.
It's probably your connection, Chris. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm just.
No.
So Rudy said we cannot let this develop. Can you hear him? Can you hear him now? Speak, Rudy.
No.
Hi.
Speak, Rudy.
Hi.
Speak. Chris.
No, it says it's something about his like
I don't
connection
know.
or something.
This is fun for me though. I like it.
Most certainly is. I'm not ignoring you, Rudy.
Lisa can
hear or see you.
Everybody else can see him. Chris is in the dark, but we can still see Chris, so we'll take Chris and I'll be the middleman. Okay, so we got some nice comments over here. We got Anne Marie doing awesome stuff with youth suicide prevention with the Garrett Lee Smith grant in August. That's amazing because peers talk to peers, and we know that, right, Rudy?
Yes, I agree.
Yes, he agrees. That's right.
I'm glad you heard that.
Keep it. I am glad I heard that. I'm glad you're keeping it simple, sir. All right, and we got Noreen, who's focusing on training with her practice. That's awesome, and we need a army of certified peer specialists trained and assist for a middle ground alternative between crisis or nothing.
can I talk about that?
Yes.
Okay, so
Rudy's talking.
there's been a lot of criticism of certified peer specialists, especially in California, where they're trying to get it where you can bill Medicaid in the state, and so there's a lot of criticism of that because there's no real clear guidelines of what a peer specialist be. So ideally, there would be strict guidelines and protocols for what it means to be a certified peer specialist. But right now, there's really not that. And one thing that I don't want to happen is where a peer specialist is seen as a replacement for a doctor or a case manager.
Yeah. So Chris cannot hear you, correct? Chris? Okay, so I put a little note of what Rudy was sharing about peer specialists and the criticism that they face because they're not a replacement for doctors, and they are what do we say? They're like peer specialists are like supplemental, or they're kind of like they're the go-to people at first to really like see how the system works and maybe hear some options about what others have been through and what people can do. What would you say, Rudy?
Yeah, because there are certain things that only someone with lived experience can know, and that's not what medications to take or what administering therapy or anything like that. It's things about navigating the system, about, hey, this worked for me, I'm a success story, so I can share that experience with others so that it's not so stressful and frustrating where you want to give up for the other person.
Yeah. So it eases the stress and frustration and kind of welcomes them in. I work at a center in, I just fucked up the word frustration. I'm gonna write that. I'm just gonna send for stations.
Yeah.
I don't know how I tweet in live conference people. Anyway, so we use certified peers in our center, and they are kind of the first contacts for individuals. Our mental health techs kind of go in and do a quick assessment, is my understanding, and then the peers kind of walk them through and support them throughout the process for screening if they need to be hospitalized or if they don't need to be hospitalized, and what are the other options. And I think that was a really good way to kind of bring it together, is sharing that lived experience, how to navigate the system, what's worked, maybe what hasn't, because it's not all unicorns and rainbows in the mental health system. Sorry, guys. So the peers can be, the first connection. Awesome Anne Marie is sharing, we have a living room model in Western MA that acts as a safe place, stopover for those in crisis, even suicidal, but do not need crisis. They need a place to calm down. Someone with lived experience can fully understand, and to point out that peers are certified by the state. So it's not like a national training is my understanding, it's state by state. They get trained in what the different kind of levels or expectations are for those trainings. You guys are so smart.
So part of what I'm getting about the peer support here, at least in your system, is that it's both a stopgap and a way to kind of scale some of that frontline therapy. It's more intensive than if you were to call in. It's less intensive than if you were to start receiving structured mental health support from a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist. But there's also the very important aspect of shared lived experience, which I think is one of the things that overall is, when we're talking about going outside of the field to reach people, that seems to be one of the most successful things that I've seen. And it makes sense. If you're going to be talking to the people who we are talking to, and you want them to reach out to us, because that's notoriously the hardest part of this interaction that we have with people. The easiest way or the best way to do it, and the thing that seems to resonate the most, is to say, hey, I've been through that. It was shit for a long time. It still sometimes is shit. But this is what I did to try to get better, and this is kind of my recovery process now. And this is how we can kind of help you move forward. So there's an inherent piece of hope in there, and there's that shared there's a camaraderie there that exists, that doesn't exist in other sorts of formal relationships.
Stu suicide mental health needs to be better at levels of mental health across the spectrum, which was what you were sharing, Chris, and teaching people how to evaluate their needs and access resources, which those peers, those with lived experience, really have the ability to share what they've been through, because I know I talk to people better if they've been through shit that I've been through. I don't care how professional I am. I want to talk to somebody who's been there, who's done that, who's going to have the understanding that I would like to have better of when seeking out help or services, or just to have a fucking conversation. I don't want to talk to somebody who's up here, who's speaking languages that I don't really understand, which are very important and valuable at times. But when I am in the thick of it, I want to be able to understand and have them understand me and where I'm coming from. Talking to someone that you can relate to is important. That's right, Lisa. And Lisa had shared a little bit of her lived experience and how she found some pretty good care when she was having a really hard time. And that's what I hear across the board, because there are some shitty experiences that people have. And the way that we talk about mental health, that's your saying.
That's one of the hugest barriers, I think, and we've all recognized this. We all talk about it constantly, but one of the hugest barriers is actually making that step from I am experiencing a lot of shit right now. I'm thinking about killing myself. I'm self-medicating. I'm self-harming. I'm doing all these terrible things. I think I need help. But what is the process for me to do that? Oh, I have to go to a clinic or something like that and deal with it that way. I have to call a hotline. That's a lot. But when you start trying to edge things a little bit closer, and you provide messaging like Suck It Suicide does and 6 Feet Overdue, when you provide real life messaging that resonates with people, instead of saying, we're here for you.
It sounds nice, and it can be really nice and comforting to some people, but other people, they are just like, fucking tell me like it is, which I thought of Rudy to join us tonight because of this one particular post, aside from being the awesome guy that loves Dixie that he is. I'm just messing with you, Rudy. He posted this status, and he's shared other things on his Facebook. He's a really great advocate in the mental health field. And so he shared the status. I'm not a big fan of the word recovery. I prefer really, really good at holding your shit together in public. I love that. Because, I don't know, because, some people can say recovery, and that's awesome and great, and it's a wonderful term, but other people are like, I'm just fucking barely hanging on here by a fucking string, and I just need to get through today, right now, and it sucks, and it's terrible, and it's horrible, but a lot of us do it, and we get through it, and sometimes it gets better, sometimes it gets worse, but life is pretty damn enjoyable. That's my perspective. 2 cents. You're welcome. Give it props to Rudy. Because I shared that on the Suck It Suicide page, and people were like, yes, I am just really, really good at holding it together in public.
Okay, so you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I do want to talk about it, and I wish Chris could hear you, but he can't.
Well,
sorry, Chris. Yes. You can watch this back.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll have to do that.
The thing is,
if he's talking, can you give me like a signal or something?
Okay, I'm talking. So the thing is, if you want to use the word recovery or any other word or make up your own word out of nowhere, that's fine. I mean, I'm not trying to change other people's words, because it's just words, But for me, the word recovery, people try to think of it as where you're no longer have symptoms, that you've got your life together. But the truth is that adds a lot of pressure, because you're supposed to present to the public that you're in recovery, when in fact is that you hide so much that part of yourself, because you don't want people to think that you're crazy still, or you can't be trusted, or shouldn't listen to you. And that's the way it is for many people. Many people don't want to speak up about it, because there's all this negative stigma about it, of where if you're having symptoms, if you're going through a really bad depression, that people think of it a certain way or don't want to hear it. It's like you can't talk about what you're going through in public.
Yeah. It's really hard to share when you're struggling and the language of it, because it's not tangible. I can't hold it in my hand. Like, you cannot hand me your pain and I can hold on to that and be a keeper of it and protect it or love it or be fearful of it. We're a pretty fearful society. If we don't understand it, then stay away too often of the time. So I love the recovery, because we want to think that I'm recovered, I'm fine, I'm totally good. Like recovering alcoholics, it's not always easy to put the bottle down. The bottles are everywhere. It's a daily choice and struggle and concern, or a constant kind of considering your own well-being and what that means, and that changes.
Yeah.
Right. Like if something changes in your house, in your environment, like you got to kind of turn the dial.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I really like Ato's 84 comment, and I realized that's you.
What I say that was so great, Rudy.
Thing is, if you want to use recovery or use your own words, that's what I said. You just
that's what you're saying.
Okay, well,
I'm kind of saying what you're saying, and then kind of just adding it because you're saying a lot.
No wonder I liked it so much then.
So you liked it.
Yeah.
You liked your own words.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
We should like ourselves.
Yeah.
Chris, don't spit that out.
Yeah, but I mean, I've heard from plenty of advocates who use the word recovery all the time, and that's I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm not gonna try to get up on stage and tell them to stop doing that, because I mean, some people, they can go years without having a relapse, without having a major depression, and for them, they can say they're recovered, but it doesn't mean that they're never going to have a breakdown or a relapse ever again. So when you go that long and you have this public perception of who you are, you're more afraid to speak out about struggles that are going on, because as far as your public perception, you beat depression, you beat anxiety or any other mental illness. So to talk about it is kind of to admit defeat.
Yeah. I like that. And not everything works for everybody, like, and the way we talk about what we experience in life isn't like, it isn't always a shared experience. We all come from very different backgrounds. We all come from very different experiences. And as much as like our family dynamics know who we are and what we are and what we're doing, we are still living this life very linear, and isolation and feeling alone is a very powerful and kind of demonizing feeling, and how to express that properly there aren't always words for it. Anne Marie shared that she's been healing in the process of healing for 34 years, and it doesn't mean every day is perfect, but she still has some PTSD moments. But I share that all the time, and that's really brave of you. I believe I would have PTSD from my childhood experiences. I'm a self-diagnosed person. I was diagnosed with clinical depression when I was like 13, 14. And I haven't really sat down with a shrink since. Sorry. I've been through therapists, but I haven't been properly diagnosed with anything. But as much as I know, I'm just saying, got some of that shit going on in my life.
Everybody has to have a diagnosis, right? Like everybody, if they actually went to a therapist, would probably have a few racked up. No one's never going to have you might not have an access to, but you're definitely going to have some stuff.
We'd fit in some categories.
That's one of the things, is that
narcissism.
It can be hard to it can be hard to speak up about mental illness.
Oh, is Rudy talking?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Rudy's talking.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, it can be hard. It can be hard to speak up about mental illness, because you hear comments like, "Oh, everyone's a little bit crazy," or "I had depression once, I know how it is." So it's this thing where you think to yourself, "Wait, maybe it's not that serious what I have," and that's really hard to try to tell yourself, because if you have a real mental illness, you should be getting help. You should be able to talk about it. and you should be around people who are compassionate and will understand what you're going to without trying to dismiss it or trying to say, well, that's what everyone has. Everyone has there's something wrong with them.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good. That's a really good point. It's kind of that internal struggle, or the way we dismiss or minimize concerns and issues. And yeah, everybody goes through hard times, but sometimes hard times are a cluster of internal and external factors that have made the perfect storm for a serious mental illness, and what that looks like in people, and you know, how that's presented, because you know it's scary to go through.
Yeah, and
Chris,
what?
Sorry.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was going to say, like, what you were, what you just said. I mean, when you, for instance, if somebody puts on weight over a period of time, and I'm not making this direct metaphor or analogy, but yeah, I mean, you don't.
Are you saying I got fat?
I did.
I haven't got fat since
but like,
always...
please don't cut me.
I saw the change in the shirts.
But no, so
go,
like
boy.
It happens over such a long period of time.
Yes.
There are so many different factors that can contribute to something like this, and you make justifications for each one, and you say things like, "Tomorrow I'm going to fix this. Tomorrow I'm going to do this differently. Tomorrow, and same thing with addicts. Or people with other sorts of mental health issues. I mean, it's always this slow, long, drawn-out process that becomes a huge problem over time. And so, how do we? At what point can we, as people in this field, or advocates in this field, or people who just give a shit about other people, how can we say, okay, this is the time, this is the moment, and this is the way that you are going to get help, and this is how it's going to help? Probably. I don't actually know. That's part of this shitty process.
Yeah.
As it's
never make promises. Right. Number one. Because it doesn't always turn out great.
Number one was don't be a dick.
And then, number one is don't be a dick.
And then don't make promises. And then number three is there are no steps. And maybe number four is don't be a dick again.
Oh yeah. I think number four was don't be a dick again. Don't be a dick. Something. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
But yeah, I mean that's.
Don't be a dick. That was the first thing I saw this morning on Facebook. What? It was terrifying.
Yeah.
And watching her like spin it around and try to. All right, moving on. We digress.
I apologize for.
It was on Desiree Stage's Facebook.
She posted it on mine though.
Oh, she did. That's
yeah.
Funny. Okay. So I have a thing.
You have a thing.
Yep.
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
It's a message. Because we're in the wild. SPSM Unpacked in the wild. Do you get it? Get it? Okay. So Rudy, that's a cue. Do you know what that cue is for? It is. Do you get it? No. Okay. So it is a cue for a random, totally kind of off topic, but kind of on topic, little weird thing that we're doing in the middle of this chat. But it's going to be difficult because could you hear Chris?
Yeah.
So Rudy can hear you, but you cannot hear Rudy. Correct, Chris? So weird that you cannot hear him, but you can hear me. I love you, Anne-Marie. You need to come talk to us.
This is going to be the weirdest segment that, like, I'm partially deaf to one person. Sorry, Rudy.
I love it.
We're going to have a translator. Or maybe we can type. I don't know.
Ooh, we can type. That's it. Okay, so we are going to type. So we are going to play a word association game.
Wait, did you not tell Rudy about this?
No, I'm just throwing it at him. You're welcome, Rudy. I was multitasking like the rest of us do right before. I was like, oh, we need to do the game thing. Okay, so we're going to do a word association, and it's going to be a word appropriate for suicide prevention. Okay, Rudy?
Okay.
The word, or like maybe a simple phrase if you're a big thinker. So
suicide prevention, I think we can go outside of our own.
And if it's not, it's silly and fine and whatever. So we're just going to do a simple word association a couple times, and this should be interesting. So I'm going to say a word, and Chris is going to associate it and write it in the box.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Got it? Okay. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes. Yes.
Are you ready?
I think
Chris,
so.
ready? Do you play the guitar,
Yes.
Chris?
Well, play.
I mean, you got a lot. Anyway, okay. So the word is lived experience. What did we'll go?
I feel like I might be biased. I don't know.
I knew that you were going to say that.
Wait, can we?
Okay.
Are we? No. Okay.
What?
Are you doing?
Go
one?
ahead. No, yeah. No, do it. What are you going to say? Say it now.
AAS.
We only have no day but today.
AAS.
AAS. No sleep.
Wait, that's more than one word.
No sleep till Brooklyn. I don't sleep during AAS. It is the dumbest thing in my life. I stay up until like 5 a.m. during AAS, and then I get forced sleep, and then I'm kind of not coherent.
Mm-hmm.
And this year in particular was really bad because things were bad. But yeah, no sleep. You get around your people, right? So you went to your first conference, Rudy, and did you sleep, or did you have like all the fun because you were just like, I need to soak up all of these humans that do what I do?
Well, you know, it's a funny thing because I was at an Airbnb and I had a host, and
yes, smart Airbnb.
I never met her once. I was there from Tuesday night to Sunday morning because I would leave before she woke up, and I would get back when she was already asleep. So
you never met your host?
Yeah, never met her. And
Okay.
but yeah, but I take a medication called trazodone that knocks me right out. But
Trazodone, yeah.
Yeah, the night before I left Saturday night after the closing, I could not sleep at all. I probably slept like 2 hours because I had a 7:30 flight, and I was so stressed out about missing it because the last time I flew,
Stressed out about the flight?
the last time I flew
sleep.
to Sacramento, I missed both flights. So, yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
You shouldn't miss flights. It's a bad thing.
Yeah, no, that was the worst day ever. But so I didn't sleep well that night, but every other night I was okay.
Nice. So you couldn't sleep because you were worried about missing your flight, but you slept fine. Well, if you come to AAS, you're not sleeping, and I will guarantee it.
Okay.
Not
well,
happening.
what do you like? What are you gonna do to me?
There's not things that I'm going to do to you, Rudy. This is a family fun episode, okay? It's just we do things. There was a strip club at one point. There was ridiculous periscopes.
Okay.
That
anything hetero?
Never made. No hetero.
This
no
year
hetero
was,
things.
This year is definitely the sex couch or the love bed. I don't know what. Yeah.
The love bed. The den. The love den. I slept in the love den. I'm afraid of what I slept in.
So is this like a real world house where you just all live together?
No, thankfully. I got an Airbnb with Desiree, Stage, with Misha Kessler, and Katie Hardy, Second Suicide, and it was like the kind of the party house. And the last night we had a big old party, and it was awesome. And sorry, Airbnb host, it was fucking the shit. Thanks for your sweet
That is
place.
how you get people interested in suicide prevention. You hold weird sex den parties, and you're like,
let's know.
No, okay.
Sex
there was no
in
sex.
the sex den. I'm just saying.
Sex in the champagne
that I'm aware of.
But
I don't think there was. There was no sex
probably.
in the champagne. But we did.
Right.
There was secret shared in like the bathtub. I think there was 4 of us in the bathtub at one point. Everybody had clothes on though, but we were sharing secrets. It was weird. Suicide professionals getting crazy and weird.
That's how you reach the public. Have weird house parties. This isn't working.
I think that's seriously. If I knew that strip clubs were involved, Stu, you need to come. Are you of age to suicide? Because are you in high school or are you in college? I think he's in college.
I think he's a grad student.
Do I know Stu?
Yes. Oh, I don't know.
This is
Wait,
this
we're
is-
friends.
this
I
is
think
the
we're friends
fault
now.
of you. This is your this is your fault since you won't come on here and talk to us. We don't know you well enough.
I think I'm friends with
Oh,
him
really?
now. We're friends now, aren't we, Stu Suicide? I think we're friends now.
Hmm.
We're friends. I need to go find him now. I haven't done my proper stalking. I've been too busy in
No,
adult life.
it seems like
No?
you
need to be
the
friends with me,
student of
darn it.
suicide likes to keep things fairly anonymous.
Stu Suicide, do you play hockey? I feel like you play hockey. Damn it! Who did I make friends with?
Why did
Oh, that's Marshall. That's
why did
Marshall.
Chris
Wait, did you know
write
Marshall?
Desiree?
Because we could do some like we could
Yeah,
do
friends
some
with
like
Marshall.
triangulation of the Facebooks. If you're friends with Marshall, then you can
Yes.
just go. This is terrible. This is all awful things.
I don't know. I'm not friends
Huh.
on Facebook though.
Ha.
Are you on Facebook, Stu
Ha.
Suicide?
Oh,
Would you be friends with us on Facebook, Stu Suicide?
oh, maybe.
No, he's
Okay.
gonna ignore us now. Oh, okay, cool. So find me Amelia later.
That's the universal. The maybe is always a yeah. Oh,
That's fine. You know, you don't want to know about my life anyway. Okay, it's fine. I try to mix it up.
You have a kid.
are we still
I
doing
have 2
this
kids.
word association thing?
I never got
No,
my
Come
kid.
on.
Oh, go. Okay, so Chris, give Rudy a
Alright.
word, and you can't hear his reply. So
I didn't have one prepared. Suicide
do it now.
prevention.
Go. Word association. I said that.
Wait,
You took mine.
how many words do I get?
As many as you want, Rudy.
Okay.
What are all
This
of his
game
words? Tell me all
has
of his
no-
words.
He's not speaking. I don't know what he's doing right now. Are
Oh,
you
he's-
Googling something?
No, I just,
Yes.
Ah, ha, ha.
Nice.
April is really on this lick suicide prevention social media thing, but I don't think anybody's actually been licked.
Not true. Someone was it Cyril? Was it Julie at AAS this year, or was it somebody else? April got some.
Somebody
April
actually
got somebody.
licks-
I'm pretty sure.
There was tongue
think
to
so.
skin.
oh,
Because I don't lick me as well as I know. I don't want to be licked by anybody.
I'll keep that in mind.
People have
Yeah,
weird
no,
tongues.
you don't
They're
know
like
where tongues have
cats.
been.
Can we
All right,
can we do like a
I say
virtual
we do one
lick
more word
SPSM?
association. Oh, is Rudy talking?
Okay. Yeah. Virtual lick. Oh no, he's licking us.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for the licking.
That's awesome, Lisa. We had a government hack this
Oh,
weekend.
yeah.
This is what we're doing. I'm gonna ignore that licking. No wonder you're so good friends with Des. Okay, it tried to address mental health. Yeah, that's awesome. So we're gonna check that out later on YouTube.
I feel like I saw something like that. But
And-
hey, I'm thinking for this time, let's do a word that is not suicide prevention related.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Ready? Noodle.
What? I don't.
Fart.
I call King.
Derek said
Kingsley
fart.
noodle fart. That just happened.
I love it. That's right. He did say fart, Kingston. Okay, so you say a word for Rudy.
Oh,
Say a word
Malarkey.
for Rudy. Rudy's typing. He's thinking. Thinking deep.
malarkey.
This is how we message.
Malarkey.
How else can we message? What else? Big boy word.
Trademark.
Yeah, I love it. Malarkey. Okay. All right. Rudy, give me a word. Come on, man.
Phantasmagoria.
Vagina.
What was the word?
Let me type it.
Gloria. I think he had his word of the day toilet paper out.
Phantasmagoria.
Vagina
I have to
totally
Google
fits.
this.
In a way. In a way.
Ah, yeah.
The
okay.
video game?
No.
Oh, it's a form of theater.
It's a string of visions.
Supernatural.
Very nice. You're such smart people. Great messaging people. Okay. Chris, you had shared that a couple of the articles I had shared recently kind of piqued your interest.
Oh,
What
God, I don't
articles?
remember.
Go.
Yeah, hey, I'm awful.
So my kind of, I like to share different articles that are going to interest different people, because I have friends across the board, friends that I've known all of my life, friends that I have met in this field, friends that I have no idea where they come from, obviously, because Stu Suicide, I mixed him up with Marshall. I'm so sorry. But so I like to share articles that kind of pique people's interest, and I pull either quotes or share like my personal anecdotes or experiences with them, and it kind of hits people in different amounts of feels, because our mental beings are always with us, and no matter what we've experienced, we can relate to something within this field. And you know, we've all been through turmoil in our lives, or experiences that have been hard, or like majority of us have been through some kind of traumatizing experience, whether it's a personal trauma or something that we've seen happen to other people, or just have seen on the news or in our Facebook feeds. So I try to hit people in different areas that would be of interest, and try to give them a little taste, so they click the link. I don't try to clickbait people, because clickbaiting is wrong.
That's really hard for some people.
It is, but I don't like it. I don't like clickbait.
No, I mean just clicking, period.
Clicking is hard for some people, and that's a disorder that you should see a doctor about.
If you have
that's a very
for more than 4 hours, you should see a physician.
You should see a physician.
Well, you use the clickbait to lower the content.
Ooh, clickbait to lower the content. I like that.
I mean, to lower the mark, really. To
lower the mark, like you're pimping.
Who's foolish enough to click on it?
Are they foolish, or do they need to know what is behind the click? I'm questioning clickbait now.
Well, I mean, to be honest, they could just read a book.
What's a book? Oh, wait. A book is what I'm reading. A Cure for Suicide. Yeah. Book club, SPSM Summer Book Club needs to be scheduled, guys. If you're in the book club, we need to talk about it, because I'm finishing it.
Yeah. So, moving on. So, like, okay. You and I know, I don't think I'm friends with Rudy on Facebook. If I'm not, I need to be. But you and I think most of the people in our field will just kind of like plop articles down. We might have like a thing. We might share a blurb from it. It's not typically original content, which is fine, because we're diluting the pollution, which is the solution, as April always says.
The solution to pollution is dilution.
So we're adding like good narratives and good content into the mainstream, into other people's feeds. But my question for you...
Yes, and there's subliminal conscious.
Yes, we are manipulating your feeds.
Subliminal.
My question for you guys is, do you ever feel like it's like you're sharing too much? You're talking about suicide prevention too much on your feeds, or mental health too much on your feeds? What do you do you ever have boundaries? Do you ever put limits on that kind of stuff?
If you ask my husband, he would say yes.
Doesn't count.
My husband does not count, even though I married that guy.
Ignore all opinion.
Done. No, I share my experience and my truth and what interests me, and I don't think there's enough of it out there. So I try to share as much as possible. Sometimes it's current content that's out in the field, or personal experiences, lived experiences, and purposeful, interesting messages that I connect to in one way or another, and I think other people would connect to in one way or another. I don't want to share some fucking meme that's just gonna fucking make you giggle. Sometimes I do, but I try to share stuff that is of value to me. And a lot of the stuff I share, I do a majority of the posting on Suck Suicide page. If you're not friends with us, go find us at Suck It Suicide on Facebook and on Twitter and on Instagram. Katie does Instagram.
Because their shirts are amazing.
And go buy shirts because they are 25% off at shop.6feetftover.org. That's right. Go buy shirts. They're awesome. They make your boobages or just your chesticles look great. Whether you have boobages or just chesticles. So go buy that stuff. And a lot of the stuff that I post on there is what speaks to me in the moment. So if I'm having a hard fucking day, I'll post that shit up. And if I'm in a sweary mood, because I swear a lot, I will post that shit up. And it's not for everybody. Sometimes we get people who are like, put this F word out of my news feed. And we're like, just hide us or tell your granddaughter not to post that.
That's the other thing is like, okay, so student had said something about an opt-in group, right?
Smart.
And so that's one way of doing it. But the ultimate reality is that the whole thing is opt-in.
Nice.
Like if you don't want to see something on your feed, you either unfollow someone or you just scroll a little faster. So I don't know. I'm totally on board with what Anne Marie is talking about. Like just
I love East Coasters and they're wicked awesome.
Just like vomit articles
and
positive narratives and the mighty articles. Like these mighty articles.
The mighty articles are so good. That brainchild is just
it comes from a place of lived experience sometimes, and it comes from a place of usually a positive narrative or a narrative that is an insight that people don't hear. That it's usually stuff kind of like what Rudy was talking about earlier. People are scared to talk about this stuff in a certain core aspect for whatever reason, and then that's another conversation. But these are articles from the viewpoint of someone who's experiencing an anxiety or chronic anxiety.
That's
and
right,
you like go one. They talk about being at an airport with anxiety, and like this is stuff that people don't hear about, and they're like, I have an anxiety attack today. No, you didn't. Shut up. This is what anxiety looks like, and that's a window into stuff that we just don't see. Yeah,
and they make it's an attractive layout often, especially on the Mighty. A lot of the websites that I'm seeing more and more are just attractive layouts. So you want to look at them. You want to see what they're about. They're easily accessible. We see that memes are wonderful, and little quick blurbs that people can share are really attract others. And people, sometimes people just want to go on Facebook to have fun, check in with everybody, but sometimes people want to get informed and are like, oh, I'm going through that in my life. I totally connect to that. And I know that things that I share have sparked conversations with my friends or associates or colleagues. And, it's not just the Bible of Amelia or, is, as Anne-Marie says, this is the life according to Anne-Marie. It's an option that people have. It's not like I'm in your face throwing this around like you need to do this or you need to read about this. It's giving people the option to get involved, get informed, get educated.
Read this wicked awesome
share it with others.
Article.
That's right. And we work for the crisis lines. You and I, Rudy is awesome in sharing his experience around to those that are inviting him out. Hire Rudy if you're interested. Rudy.
Yes.
At Rudy Caceres. Connect to that guy. Get him, hire him, send him out to places. But we work at the crisis lines, and we don't have to often go out to people. They usually find us, unfortunately. But sometimes that's difficult because they're like, people are like, what's a crisis line? And how do I call the crisis line? And what does that mean? Does that mean I'm going to call? Are the police going to show up? And look, majority of people are not going to send the police out unless it is like the last possible option. I promise you that. But people don't really know what we do, and we need a larger voice. So if you can speak on social media, that is right, Rudy.
Okay.
You're speaking on social media right now.
Yeah. I mean, Can I speak right now?
Yeah, speak
Okay.
right now.
All right.
Did you just social media raise your hand?
No, I think you can do that though somewhere in Blab. But one of the things I've learned. Back to seriousness. One thing I learned is that it doesn't matter what your medium is, whether it's writing or video or memes or anything like that. If it's really something powerful, it will come across. I've seen just walls of text go viral. I've seen full-length documentaries like the Coney one go viral. Anything can go viral. It just has to be something that really is engaging to its audience and it's authentic. I think most people just scroll through Facebook just for the memes and short videos that they can share. So it's like they are curating what their lifestyle, basically, of things that they think that other people want to know about them. And so it's, for a lot of people, it's very hard to go from being on Facebook, scrolling across an article, actually clicking on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can write a blog myself and post it on my Facebook and tell everyone about it. Doesn't mean even people that are my friends are going to read it. So they might say they read it and say good job and everything. So it's really hard to know, or they click on it and just scroll through and pretend they read it. So
yeah, it's hard to know who is reading what, and, you know.
Yeah, so I mean, I know it's very frustrating for you guys because you're trying to see what has the greatest impact. And one thing I've learned
we are.
Is that it's not about just, oh, we got to do a lot of video or post more memes or inspirational quotes. It's about doing what is most authentic for you, best way to express your personality, and not trying to do something that is popular and because it's going to come off as fake.
Yeah. It's not like taking the like we couldn't take over the ice bucket challenge, right? Like
no, I mean
let's throw buckets of ice over our head for suicide prevention. People would be like, did we see that for ALS last year?
Yeah, but
I never used that shit.
You tried that with the Miss Doubtfire challenge, and I did one, and it was bad, and no one followed it. I mean, like, yeah, we tried. You can't co-opt things like that have natural.
A spark of genius needs to just ignite, and then it just takes off. And viral doesn't. I mean, relatively, it doesn't happen very often. More and more we're seeing things go like large scale. Like you did a test, didn't you, Rudy, a while ago? You like posted a status and kind of challenged the people that follow you to share it, and like didn't it?
Yeah, it got
pretty far.
It got like 5,100 shares, and
5,100. That's pretty good.
The thing is, it was just
mine didn't.
it was just an image with words on it describing what depression was like that people can relate to. And then I saw in all the comments and shares, people just saying like they're tagging their boyfriend or whatever and saying, this is me. And then their boyfriend says like, oh my God, I didn't even know this about you. Like, I'm here for you. So it's something as simple as that, where you think you have to do video, you think you have to do live streaming or something really funny to come across to a mass audience. And that's proof that it doesn't matter what the medium is. It could be Blab. There could be like a Blab that goes viral, and all of a sudden, like everyone's just watching Blab now.
And Lisa kind of echoes that with it's about having great content no matter what the medium is. It's going to be shared. On the Suck at Suicide page, when it really like we've steadily grown over the years, and it's 4 years old now, there was a post about anxiety, and it was pretty simple. It was like a graphic pie chart, and people really responded to it, and it went worldwide, if you will. There was like over 1 million shares or something crazy, and like 70,000 comments, and it was just nuts what sparked the interest, because I just kind of post what I respond to and what I think is appropriate for our kind of alternative, non-mainstream audience, if you will. And it's amazing what people will respond to. And authenticity, I think, is one of the largest takeaways from messaging.
And that's
why.
Well, I mean, we
Yeah.
can see that in what we were kind of talking about earlier, like it'll be fine if you just call this phone. If you just do this thing, everything will get sorted. There's no authenticity in that. There's no genuineness. It's weird. It's forced, and it feels corporate, right? It doesn't feel like it was written by a person.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a person is talking to you. But when you have things like those pie charts that are like hand drawn or whatever, like there are certain elements that come with the purpose and the authenticity and the fact that it actually has decent, good content. Those are the things that just go.
I think Vox is good with that.
And it's weird because when I see something like that from someone who's not in my field or in the field, I'm like, yes, hell, like love this, and I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna like attribute it to this person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna encourage this kind of behavior constantly, especially if it's coming from someone that is not doing this every day.
Yeah.
So, something I've noticed. Something I've noticed is that when you're able to articulate something, whatever medium you use, where the audience is like, oh my God, like you totally put it into words that I've been trying to find forever. That's the thing that people can really relate to and share and like and comment on.
You're so smart, Rudy. I'm so glad that you're here tonight. So yeah, we are going to have final thoughts because this hour went by really fast.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to continue the SPSM summer. Maybe when I get back from camping.
Yeah.
I'm going out
Haven't
into
you gone
the great wide open.
camping like 19,000 times this summer already?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I go camping for a week a summer. So I've been camping with my boys for the last 6 years, and I used to go like every summer when I was a kid with my family, and then with my dad when my parents separated. And then there was like a block of time that I didn't go, and we reinstated it and took it back and made it ours again. And I got a brand new tent today, and it's awesome, and it's so big, and it's going to be amazing. And bears aren't going to eat me because bears are terrifying.
Yeah.
And I end up spending a lot of nights awake. That's the thing. Anyway, I'm going camping.
Let's hope.
And we're gonna SPSM stuff.
Find you.
I hope they don't find me.
The Bears always win in the
Put
end.
your food up.
I hope not, because I saw The Revenant and that was terrifying. Anyway, so final thoughts, messaging. Moving on.
Messaging. Rudy nailed it. Be authentic.
Do it.
Be authentic. When you create something or when you type something, whether it's original content or whether you're sharing something else, make sure that you're doing it for a purpose. Make sure that you're doing it because it has good content. Make sure that you're doing it not just mindlessly sharing everything or reading the headline and then sharing it out. Make sure what you're doing is for a reason.
That's right. This says I'm authentic.
There you go.
On Snapchat.
Do a little research on when to send stuff out. Do a little bit. Think a little bit. Try to put a little work into it. I know nobody wants to hear that, but it takes a little bit of work.
You have to put work into things?
I know, right? And for people in our field especially, think about where you're coming from a peer perspective or a lived experience perspective. Have that as a fucking priority, please. Because that's what people hear and that's what people respond to. We know that.
Vulnerability.
So just do that. Yes.
It's powerful. Being vulnerable in this field, in this work, it's appropriate. Knowing when it's appropriate and when it feels safe to disclose your own personal experiences with, in your work, in your field, whatever you're doing, it's know you and know that it's okay to live and express yourself. Also, check out #SPSM on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Central. And SPSM
Can I add one?
Unpacked.
Can I add one more thing?
No, we're done. Go ahead, Chris.
Especially for people in this field, and we at the SPSMers are very
Simmers.
the spimmers love to beat this dead horse, but stop being scared about what is going to happen. I mean, within reasonable limits. If you think something is going to work and you think people are going to respond to it, don't worry about things like professional reputation, liability. It all gets in the way. Do a little bit of research and then do it. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Do the best.
Make
good.
sure that. Yeah.
Do the best good.
I just rambled.
And what
None
you're
of that made sense.
comfortable
But
with.
just do it.
Yeah, no, there's professional implications of, what does this make me look like? What does this make me sound like? Et cetera, et cetera. And I know I face that because I don't have a degree. And a lot of the people in this field are very intimidating, like that guy over there who's like, are you done yet?
I have to microwave something. Are you done?
He doesn't really microwave things.
Oh, okay.
He goes cold. He don't give a shit about heating that shit up. No, never mind. You can't hear it. Go away. Worry about you. He's coming in to defend himself. Okay, so I gotta go.
Wait. What's Rudy's final thought?
Rudy, final thought.
Yes. I mean, I used to belong to a mental health advocates group, and we used to share all kinds of fun stuff about mental illness because I didn't want to share it on my main page because I didn't think anyone wanted to read about that or see it. It would be depressing. But once I started...
Go suicide.
No, don't go suicide.
Sorry.
What? Once I started to share on...
Bad messaging.
Yes.
Are you still there?
Can finish reading.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Once I started sharing on my main page, that's where I noticed that there was a lot of people who wanted to have that conversation, and not only in private, that people wanted to open up about it and just take someone to be that first person to really start the conversation. So I can get like 100 likes on something mental illness related. I always feel bad when I make a joke that I think it's funny and no one likes it. So
Yeah.
I guess I just have to play to my audience.
Yes, play to your audience. Be authentic to you. Don't be afraid to try something new and different. Be awesome and be friends with me, Stu Suicide. I want to be friends with you.
Me too.
Yeah, be friends with Rudy too.
Yes.
Don't be friends with Chris.
That's fine. I honestly, a part of it is a part of the mystique is
The
in the
mystique.
anonymity.
There is mystique
Right.
in the anonymity. He's just going to blow up one day and we're going to be like, we knew him when.
We don't even know if it's a he.
Oh, that's true.
That's the fun
I
part.
thought it said like
I'm such a
sometimes.
sexist.
We've talked about this before. We have no idea, and that's what makes it so fun.
We know nothing.
That's my final thought.
See, I read it as
It's
like
not-
Stuart, so it's like a male name. So that's just where I'm genderizing. Shit.
Gentrification.
Genderification? That's not a thing. It's... Hello, come here. The family is busting
right.
in the party.
This
Say hello.
Nice.
It
What's up, family?
seems to happen every week with you.
All right. Well, you've wasted.
does.
Another
That's what happens when
hour
you.
and
This is what happens when you have a young family. They just like want your attention and demand it, and like it's really hard to balance all of this shit.
Yeah. I live alone, so.
I'll send you a package.
Thanks.
Oh no, you don't want her packages.
I'll trust you on that.
He would love it. Okay,
That's true. That's true.
Well,
Rudy,
Yeah.
send me your address. I'm gonna send you something at some point.
is it a small package?
That's
Depends
not
on the
creepy
size.
at all.
All right,
Well,
I gotta go.
yeah.
Okay. Hey, we wasted another hour and 8 minutes of your time. Thanks for
I
joining
didn't.
us.
This
was not
for
wasted.
I didn't.
Hashtag SPSM Unpacked during hashtag SPSM
BSM
Summer for the hashtag SPSM.
BSM.
There's so many SPSM.
So many
Thank you for
swimmers.
joining us. Have a wonderful swimming night. Love you, people.
Swim
Goodbye.
some later.